Okay, this is going to be the card for people who choose the number 2. And if you haven't already watched, how to say this, if you haven't already watched the introductory video called The Experiment, you should take a look at it, because it explains what's going on here, and it'll enable you to make better sense of the information that I'm going to give when I pick a card. So I'm shuffling, as usual, 3 piles rather, turn the middle one, which means that some of the cards are now upright and some are reversed. I'm shuffling very quickly just to save time. To the left, turn the middle one, gather up, and then a little bit more shuffling. Okay. I used to always want to know, have I done enough shuffling? And I sort of wanted some kind of indication, like bells or lights flashing to say now is the time to stop. You don't need to. You're always going to pick the right card anyway, so you can relax. So there's a card. So card number 2 is going to be this one. 10 of Pentacles reversed. Okay. So 10 is 1 plus nothing, gets you back to 1 again. So the 10 is the end of the cycle. And so you haven't quite finished up with the difficult situation that you found yourself in. So it can be, the fact that it's a 10 upside down can mean that you want to get out of the situation, but it's not quite finished yet. So you should just relax and finish it up completely and learn as much as you can while you're in this difficult situation. Because if you don't learn everything now, or if you don't learn a lot now, you're going to find yourself back in a similar situation in the not too distant future. It's a bit like when you want to leave, stay for an extra 5 minutes, because you're going to learn something in those extra few minutes that you wouldn't have learned if you had left, and you'd have to go and begin from the very beginning again. So there's something here with this 10 reversed about staying and learning to live with it and live within the situation, because you've got something important to learn from it. And so if you look at your situation and ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me, or what am I trying to teach myself through this experience, you'll do well. Whereas if all you want to do is escape and get out of it, you may escape, you may get out of it, though it's going to take a little bit longer than you want because the card is upside down. You will get out of it, but you're still going to have to learn that particular lesson, or learn that thing that you don't want to learn at the moment. So it's coins. So this can be an indication that you have financial difficulties, but at the same time, who doesn't? And who hasn't had financial difficulties? So for this one, it may be, because it's a 10, look back to the previous stages or steps that you've gone through to get into this situation. And when you figure out a mistake that you made that caused you problems, just decide that you're not going to do that again. Whereas when you find that you had certain, let's say, because it's coins, let's say you had certain financial habits that brought you benefits, or that brought an easing of the situation, be willing to repeat them. But if it's something you did, or something you're in the habit of doing that caused you problems, decide that you're going to not do that anymore. And then you've got the sort of, then it means that the cycle may repeat, but not the same way as it has been repeating. This card, as you can see, this looks like the old fellow, the grandfather maybe, and we've got the child, and this woman, this may be a guard, so it's not clear that this is a family, although it might be, where you've got a grandchild, the sort of children, and the grandparents as well. So the fact that it's upside down, perhaps there are difficulties between members of a group or members of a family, and the difficulties are because the grandfather has certain understanding and experience, has had certain experiences, and has come to certain conclusions about what to do maybe, or how to live, whereas the younger people, they've gone through different experiences, and the child again, has a different priority and different expectations than these two and this older fellow. And it can be that there are problems and difficulties between people because they're different age groups and they have different starting points and understanding and expectations. So you need to find, or you don't need to find, but there won't be a resolution until people realize that they've got their own agendas and they've got their own expectations and their own beliefs based on their own experience. And so you need to, well, if you can find some common ground, then you're better off. And the common ground, because it's a 10, may be, what direction do we want to go in? So if the different people involved can decide, okay, we don't like each other at the moment, but that doesn't matter because we're in this, we need to stick together. So let's decide that by the end of the year, we're going to be able, let's say it's a family, by the end of the year, we're going to go on a trip somewhere and to a resort or someplace that's relaxing, and we're going to have a week's holiday together. So that's something that everybody can look forward to or think about in a positive way. And so it can be that because everybody knows they're going to be in the same spot later on, and they're going to be able to get along with each other, maybe there won't be the same need for the old person to insist that his way is the right way. And it won't be as important for the younger people to insist that they don't want to do it his way. Do you know what I mean? So I'm thinking, because it's a 10, which is the end of the cycle, if everybody can agree on a common goal, or an outcome that everybody would like or would like to have, then you've got grounds for cooperation. And I think with this card, the fact that it's upside down, doesn't have to be anything, but you're going to get along better if you have grounds for cooperation. So that's that. Again, I'm probably going to say this at the end of every video. Ideally, you'll leave me a comment or you'll email me and explain to what extent this made sense and so on.